Welcome to Amazon FBA. In this section, we'll be exploring seasonality and its effects on sales. This is a very important topic. The reason for that is that when you're going to be selling products on Amazon, there is two different kind of seasons. There is going to be an on season and an off season, and it is very important for you to know the difference between both seasons. Now, the fourth season is the peak season. The peak season is the holiday season. This is the time of the year that all your sales are going to go through the roof. Everything is going to be sold very easily. You're going to make the most money during this time of the year. It is very important for you to keep all the merchandise already in stock, and all you really have to do is just sell items or just gather new merchandise if items do go out of stock. Other than that, you spend almost all the year until during the peak season preparing for the peak season. That's how it is in retail. You're actually gathering up your merchandise throughout the whole year round until October starts, and that's when sales are going to start to pick up. And then around December and January, the bulk of your sales are going to come during those 2 months. Although some sales in November do start, it all depends if it's a good year or a bad year for retailers. Some years are better than others. In some years, you might have 3 good months, other years, it might be just 2. But regardless, those are the best months of the year where you're going to make the most amount of your profits. Now, the second part of the season is the slow season. This is from February to September, and almost nothing happens during this time of the year. In fact, some of your sales might go down to almost barely any sales every single month. And don't think you're doing anything wrong. A lot of amateur people who go into this kind of e-commerce business, they will see a humongous slowdown during this time of the year, and they think something is not working. So they start to discount everything, or they start to not pay that much attention to their business, and their business during the peak season is going to go down as well because they have not been using the slow season to get ready for the peak season. This is what I use the slow season for. I gather up brand new merchandise. I try to find new things to sell during this part of the season. This is the part of the season where you want to let go in garage sales, in things that you have that you don't think are going to be successful. You want to get rid of things that are less likely to be sold, and then gather up things that are more likely to be sold during the peak season. So you kind of gather up everything you have, and then as October starts, you start to discount it. You start to gather up people to come to your store, and then you just keep going with the sales momentum. You just get better and better at it, and you put a lot more attention as the seasonality comes to the Christmas time. Around that time, you might have days where you work almost 20 hours a day because you have that many orders just come in. Although I mostly sell on eBay, this is the time of the year I get the most of my profit. It always happens around right before Christmas. The season really picks up, and it doesn't end with Christmas. A lot of people make the common mistake thinking that as soon as Christmas hits, that's it, you're done. That's not true. Although some people think it is, it's not, because after December, you still have 1 more month, and people are still buying gifts for the new year, and some people didn't even get all their gifts in line. They promised somebody to get something, and plus there is still all this sales going on. People, the sales for everything that wasn't sold during the December holiday season, a lot of retailers actually put huge sales in the end of January. So you still can sell a substantial amount of your things at the end of January. The sales don't end until around 2 to 3 weeks into January. That's when you see a substantial slowdown because people run out of holiday spending money. Now they have debts to pay. They have too many things they bought. They want to return items back. This is when actually you get a peak of returns coming in around post-holiday season as well. People do return items back to the store, and at the same time, this is when your season winds down as well. So you really put a lot of work for a very short time of the year that's going to be highly profitable for you. But always keep this in mind every single year. And if during October to January you're not making good profit, that's when you really need to reassess yourself and figure out what you did wrong, because this is the time you're supposed to be making money. All the other months of the year, it's okay if you have a whole 2 to 3 months where you make hardly any sales, because it happens. It does happen, and at the same time, this is the kind of business you get into, the e-commerce business. And most of your sales really happen during a very short time of the year. It's usually during the holiday season, and it always picks up every single time there is a new holiday season. You could get into merchandise that sells all year round, and I do have some merchandise that does sell all year round, but a lot of times you still make the best profit during this time of the year, and you're able to get the most money for the amount of money you invested during the peak season. Or the other time of the year, I don't like to give away my stuff pretty cheap, because people are not gonna buy it, and it doesn't matter if it is cheap or more expensive. If somebody wants the product, they will pay whatever it costs during a regular time of the year. But when the peak season comes in, people are going to pay a lot more than it costs, because they want the product right now. During the slow season, you might have to discount your items a lot more if you want them sold. But if you don't want to give them away next to nothing, just keep the price up for whatever it is, so you can get good enough profit for it.